What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So today, we're going to be talking about the brand new Sugafest batch that is going to be arriving on Global very, very soon, and then in the coming days, after the maintenance period for version 10.0.1. Really looking forward to this one. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, where I talked about the Sugafest itself, and talked about the campaign event that's coming alongside this, go check out my previous video. Has a lot of information in there, talking about the medal exchange as well. We know what characters are going to be available, how much they're going to cost and all of that, which is really exciting. It's a nice update for sure. So make sure you go check out that previous video if you haven't done so already. So as I said, we're going to be talking about the brand new Sugafest batch. So there are 2 new Sugafest exclusives, and then there's 2 rare recruits in this batch as well. So we've got Page 1 and Drake, and then we've also got Kid and Hawkins. There are some free-to-play characters that are going to be arriving very soon. There is an O Sober Mask raid boss. There's an O Toko, I guess another raid boss. It's very similar to the Otama that came out around Luffy Zoro time. And then there's also Coliseum King, which is going to be arriving soon as well. So let's just start off with the Sugafest exclusives. Let's start off with Kid. Obviously, massive shout out to the One Piece Treasure Cruise database. Link to it's going to be down below in the description as per usual. But here we go. Eustace Kid, Magnetic Captain challenging the Dragon. This guy is a Driven Striker DEX character. His stats across the board are honestly pretty good. Good health, good attack, good recovery, obviously post-Limit Break expansion. So as for his abilities, his Captain ability, boost the attack of DEX by 4 times, and then all other characters will still get a 3.75 times attack boost. That's still pretty good. So that's very reminiscent of like Snake Man, for example, the super type Snake Man that dropped. He is a strength 4 times captain and a 3.75 rainbow. So again, very similar. And now, he has this added effect where he changes tandem slots into bomb orbs. So again, very similar to like Luffy Zoro, for example, where they change tandem slots into Wano slots. So yeah, it's pretty weird that, you know, instead of that, he's going to make them bomb orbs instead. And it says boost the chances of getting tandem orbs, which in turn will become bomb orbs. And it says it makes bomb and super bomb slots beneficial to all characters. Now, for those of you who don't remember what super bomb slots are, they were the new addition to the treasure map Luffy that came out just not long ago, where super bomb slots are going to be a new type of mechanic for this character, where they are essentially like rainbow orbs, where, you know, you can't manipulate them around under any sense. The enemy cannot manipulate them from you, and because they're treated as beneficial, it's really good because the enemy can't take them from you. And the thing is if you have a super bomb slot and you hit like a good or a great, it typically does a lot of damage to your team. But there's an added effect that we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, so he makes the bomb and super bomb slots beneficial for all characters, and then if a DEX character specifically has a bomb or a super bomb slot, boost their attack by 5 times instead. And then also, here's the really cool effect, bomb and super bomb slots will deal 0 damage to the team. So yeah, there we go. So you can run all these bomb orbs, and even if you don't hit a perfect, it doesn't matter because you're not going to take damage anyway. So, you know, if that wasn't there, that would be a really big problem. You know, if there's any enemies that have good or great barriers, or even, you know, if you just don't hit your perfect and you hit a good or a great instead, you're going to be taking a lot of damage from that. And the one big thing about his captain effect that I don't like is that there's no HP boost, and there's no damage reduction, there's no recovery, so he's a very, very, very frail captain. You have to be very careful when you're using him. One thing that I don't like is the fact that DEX characters have to have a bomb or a super bomb slot to get the 5 times boost. I would have preferred it if it was like bomb, super bomb, or a DEX orb, like just to make sure that if they get just a matching orb as well, they can still get them a 5 times boost. But no, with Kid, you need to make sure they have either bomb or super bomb to get the 5 times boost. So that obviously is quite a big drawback, but this character is built around that mechanic, so we'll see how he deals with that. As a sub as well, makes bomb and super bomb beneficial to everyone. He's a stat booster for DEX. Now his special ability, which is on a 13 turn cooldown, and after normal limit break, it's a 12 turn cooldown. You don't have to expand him to get any boosts, but his special will empty strength, DEX, bomb, and super bomb slots. Empties them out, and then deals typeless damage based on the number of slots that you emptied for his special ability. So every slot you empty, he deals 500,000 damage to all enemies. So that's pretty crazy. You can deal up to, what is it, 3 million damage if you have a full board of either of these slots. So 3 million damage typeless to all enemies. That's very good. and then he changes empty orbs into super bomb slots, which with his captain ability he'll treat as beneficial, and even as a sub as well, he also will treat them as beneficial. So that's really nice actually, the way that it kind of works. And then boost attack of DEX by 2.5, so he is his crew's own orb manipulator and attack booster, which is very, very good. So I like everything that they've done so far. And now we have his super type special, which you need to have one of the supernovas on your team in order to activate it. So Luffy or Zoro, Law, Killer, Basil Hawkins, Capone, Bonnie, Apu, X-Drake, Rogue. So not difficult to fulfill, really. I mean, we just got the treasure map Luffy, who's a DEX character and is a phenomenal character that can be put on his team. There's lots of DEX Zoros, lots of DEX Laws. Killer, not many good killer characters. Obviously, the new Hawkins that's coming alongside. Capone, I can't think of any DEX Capones. Bonnie, Raid Bonnie's really good. Apu, there's not many good Apus in the game. New Raid Recruit X Drake that's come out as well. I can't really think of too many Rogues that are good either. But either way, you can fulfill this relatively easily. And then his super type special deals 100 times his attack in typeless fixed damage to all enemies that ignores all damage negating abilities and barriers. Fantastic effect. And then changes all orbs, including block, into bomb orbs, and then DEX characters become super DEX typing. The really cool thing about this is you can use his super type special to give you a full board of bomb orbs that goes through block orbs, mind you. And remember, this cannot be interrupted by the enemy. And then when you launch the special ability, you get that full board of super bomb, which the enemy cannot take away from you. So no matter what, when you're using the combination of the super type special and the normal special, like, you're guaranteed to get your board of orbs, which is so good. And obviously still getting the attack boost from there. Everything about this character is actually really, really good. The only downside here is that a lot of people would agree to me in the fact that the DEX typing is probably the worst typing in the game. They just don't have a lot of really powerful top tier characters right now compared to a lot of the other colors in the game. So once, you know, a couple more Sugafest exclusives come out, or, you know, a couple of really good free-to-play units potentially, you know, DEX might be even better than what they already are. But again, that is one big problem about this character, is that his captain ability is frail. There's no HP, there's no damage reduction, there's no healing. So yeah, you have to be very careful when using this character, but he is a very, very powerful unit overall. I'm a big fan of the way that this guy's constructed. So that's the first Sugafest exclusive. Now the next one is Basil Hawkins, who he is a very, very controversial character, because, I mean, when he first got announced to be a Sugafest exclusive, everyone was so excited to see what he was going to do. But everyone then found he was kind of built in such a different manner that a lot of people just don't like him. But I can respect what he can do. Personally speaking, I'm not a big fan of this unit, but he is pretty good still. Let's get to him. So, Basil Hawkins is a cerebral slasher DEX character. His captain ability, which we'll get to in a sec, but stats okay. His attack is a little low. But anyways, captain ability. Boost the attack of DEX by 3 times. 3 times. All other characters will get a 2.75 times attack boost. Okay. Boost the HP of all characters by 1.3. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Cuts the HP of each enemy by 10% at the end of each turn. That's pretty good. And then recovers 50% of the damage taken from enemies in the previous stage when you enter a new stage. Very reminiscent of V2 Katakuri, where you take damage, you move into the next stage, you heal back. It's a really good effect to have. And then at the beginning of each new stage, increases the attack timer of all enemies by 1 turn. So if you guys have ever used 6+ Usopp as a captain, you guys would know exactly what this means. This is actually not classified as delay, mind you. Every time you enter a new stage, like hypothetically, if the enemy is on like a 2-turn cooldown, when he is your captain, that enemy's 2-turn cooldown just gets clocked up to a 3-turn cooldown instead in that certain situation. So even if the enemy, like when you enter the stage, already has an immunity buff up, this will still delay them. It's not really a delay, it's just increasing their attack timer. It's not classified as a delay, so you can't use like a delayed conditional boost on top of his captain effect. It won't work that way, just in case if anyone was wondering. So you gotta be very careful about that, but it is a really cool effect. You've got healing, so you can tank a lot easier. You're increasing their attack timer, so again, just making sure that you get more time to deal damage to the enemy. Every time you wait a turn, you cut their health by 10%. You've got a health boost, and the attack multipliers are a little low for my liking, right? So that's his captain effect across the board there. It's interesting. There's lots of things going on. Now, moving on to his special ability, which is a 10-turn cooldown after his limit break. You don't even need to expand him, but it deals 500 times his attack and typeless damage to a single enemy. That's pretty good. And then changes own orb and adjacent orbs into matching, and then adds additional typeless damage equal to 20 times the damage that you've taken before you activated his special for 3 turns. So, okay, so breaking down what this does is, so the first thing that I see that I really don't like is this. Why does he only change his own orb and adjacent orbs into matching? I feel like he should have just changed all orbs into matching, because he doesn't even like get rid of block orbs or anything. Like, he should have just, you know, changed all orbs into matching, including block as well. I don't understand why it's like that. Very strange. But then this tap timing bonus. So the way that it works is once you've taken 50,000 damage, that's the max cap that you can get. So once you've reached that, you multiply that by 20. Each tap timing hit that you deal is 1,000,000 damage, and that lasts for 3 turns. So that means if you've got 6 characters, 6 million additional damage over 3 turns is very good. So that you can obviously see the way that this character is structured. You take damage, you heal back, you cut their health, you delay them so that, well, it's not a delay, but you increase their attack timer so that they don't hit you, so you can get more turns of stall in. And then once you've taken hits, you can use this as your way to kill the enemy. It's a very slow defensive style unit, and this character is really good at clearing high difficulty content like GARP challenges and Colosseums as well that are relatively difficult. So this unit is interesting, but I'm personally not a big fan of the way that he tries to go about clearing content. But he is good. Like, you might not like this, and I completely understand that, but you have to respect what he's able to do. He is able to clear a lot of high difficulty content that Captain Kidd is not able to do. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, as for his super type criteria, it is very bizarre. But it states here, Hawkins must be the captain, obviously, and an active support ability must have been activated by being inflicted by an enemy action. So to sum up what this means is again, another hypothetical situation. Let's say you have like just a Luffy on your team, right? And then he has like Rayleigh support, which is a support effect that activates only when the enemy does something to you, right? You know, where Rayleigh will activate, removes 2 turns of bind, despair, and paralysis. That is an active support effect. That's what they're saying here. So in order for him to use his super type special, so the criteria for it to be activated, one of those support effects has to be activated on your team. So again, you have to like really just rely on the enemy doing something to you for then you to have a support ability to activate, for then you to then go ahead and use his super type special. Very bizarre requirement, but once you are able to use it, it reduces any damage above 500 HP by a significant margin for 1 turn, and then you get super dex typing. So what this essentially means is you do not die for 1 turn. This will allow you to tank essentially any hit in the game, for sure. So yeah, and even if it's from multiple enemies as well, you essentially do not die for 1 turn. It's a pretty interesting super type special, that's for sure. So that's Basil Hawkins wrapped up right there. So you've got Legend Kid and Legend Hawkins. Now we move on to the 2 rare recruits. The first of which is Page 1. Page 1, which is kind of interesting to get a rare recruit right now, but Page 1 is a powerhouse slasher dex character. His captain effect is a 2.75 dex boost if HP is above 50%, 2.25 otherwise. That's not very good. Restores own cooldown by 2 turns when it's rewinded. That's pretty good. And then int orbs are beneficial for dex characters. That's also pretty good, actually. Multi-stage special, 13 turn to 12 turn cooldown, okay, 12 turn cooldown, 70 times his attack and typeless damage to 1 enemy, reduces attack down, burn, and blind by 5 turns, and then reduces the cooldowns of strength and dex by 2 turns. Okay, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty nice. I like the fact that he can, you know, restore special cooldowns with his special, and then he just adds, you know, attack down, burn, and blindness by 5 turns. Blindness isn't too common of a debuff for it to be warranted to be put on a rare recruit, in my opinion. I would have much preferred this to be something else, but the fact that this is an attack down and burn reduction, I like that. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, and then he does a little bit of damage. I mean, he's nothing like broken or god tier, but it's fine, I guess. Nothing too crazy. And then, does he have a support ability? Yeah, support ability attaches to X-Drake, Kaido, and Hawkins. Once per adventure, when the enemy inflicts you with attack down, reduce it. Well, okay, that's pretty good. Just remove 2 turns of attack down. Actually, we didn't really talk about the support effects of the 2 Sugofest exclusives. So, where we have... Yeah, once per... So this is for Eustace Kid, by the way. Any Dex unit. Once per adventure, when the enemy inflicts you with orb randomization or manipulation, changes the supported character's orb, including block, into bomb, and then makes bomb beneficial. Okay, it's only for that one unit though, so it's nothing like too crazy, but it's okay. I don't really see too many situations where this is going to be super useful, but it's interesting, I guess. And then for Basil Hawkins, what does he do? Basil Hawkins will go ahead and attach to only Kaido. Once per adventure, when you reach the final stage, you get a matching orb and adjacent orbs into matching, and then recover 3,000 health. That's actually pretty good. That can be used in a lot of content. So, yeah, Basil Hawkins has a pretty good support effect. And then we just went through page 1 there. Now let's go through X Drake, which is the final of the rare recruit here. Let's have a look at his artwork once it loads eventually. It's cool that he's in his hybrid form. So this guy, X Drake, is again, powerhouse slasher DEX. And captain effect is attack of Dex by 2.5, 1.25 health, nothing crazy. Attack of Dex by 50. Sight orbs are beneficial for Dex characters. Now his special ability is on a 12-turn cooldown, deals 50 times his attack and Dex damage to one enemy, reduces chain multiply limit and chain coefficient reduction by 5 turns, that's good, and then locks all orbs for 1 turn. That's also pretty good. That's really good for Legend Kid. And then if your captain is a Dex character, amplifies Dex orbs by 2.25 for 1 turn. Wow, dude. That's really good. He's got nice offensive and defensive capabilities here. I like that he's an orb blocker as well. Orb blockers aren't really too common these days. So for him to have that on top of being an orb booster, so you can, stack orbs and then keep it and get, 1 turn of an orb boost on there, and you can use another orb boost somewhere else with another character, and he just reduces the chain debuffs, which is also just nice to have, I guess. So yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, what is his support effect? His support effect is attaching to page 1 Kaido or Hawkins. Okay, doesn't attach to Kid. Once per adventure, when the enemy inflicts you with the chain limit and coefficient reduction, he just reduces it by 2 turns. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good to have, actually. So yeah, this guy's awesome. I'm a big fan of X Drake compared to page 1, but I guess they're both nice to have. And then obviously we got the free-to-play units, which I'll talk about them when they eventually release on Global. But there we go, that's the rundown of the Sugafest batch. I do definitely like Eustace Kid. I think he's a very interesting unit. It's just the fact that, the Dex color isn't like super duper amazing, but there's lots of really good characters you can, partner alongside with him. The fact that he is a striker unit as well is quite interesting, because you could actually run like a friend Captain Kaido, for example, and you can run like a full powerhouse striker Dex team if you wanted to do something like that, which is pretty interesting. But I guess that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below in the comment section which of the Sugafest exclusives you're most excited for. I know a lot of people are probably excited for Kid to finally have a Sugafest exclusive in the game, myself included. He's a really cool character. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.